Here are some basics for getting ProPresenter ready for Sunday morning. The first thing you need to know is kind of the structure. You have a playlist. Within the playlist, there's presentations like your songs and sermons or, screen holders. And then within those presentations, there's a slide. That will make sense in a minute. So let's get started with a playlist. We'll make a new playlist for Sunday morning at Gateway. I just named it Sunday morning service. So once I make that, now it's time to add, there's nothing in the playlist. So now it's time to add a few things. You can see that I have other playlists that once I click on those, it can give me what I need. So I need to add some things to it. I need to add some presentations. I can go up to the plus and say new presentation. Well, one thing we use every week is rotating announcements. So let's do that. Just need to name it. You can see that it's going to go into the playlist of Sunday morning service. Good job. And new. All right, now we have the first thing in our playlist. The presentation is rotating announcements. Now I need to grab some announcements. I made these in Canva. I'll just reduce my screen here, go to my downloads, find a couple of announcements. I just throw it in there. Here's another one. And here's another. Now I want them to rotate. So I have to go up to the top, wrong button, go to the other one. That is the rotation. You can set the timer for it. So I'm just putting 5 in there now. You may want 10. That button tells you I want it to transition, a little dissolve action. So once I've set those two things, let's test it. When it gets to whatever the last slide is, it will automatically go back and rotate to start the playlist over. The rotating command that you gave it to rotate every 5 seconds will only apply to that presentation. It won't jump into the next one. Speaking of the next one, you need to do the same thing. We're going to create a welcome slide section. You can change this out every week. You can add individual announcement slides to it, and they won't rotate unless you tell it to. Just look for a welcome slide I already have on my computer. Drag and drop. New presentation. You should not have to add in your songs every week. They should be stored on ProPresenter. So you can go to search, or usually there's a little magnifying glass up there, and search for a song. Agnus Dei, we have sung before. I can drag and drop it over there. Now it's in. I have a background slide on my first slide just to give me a background. I've created a default arrangement. If you put in the master, these are just the elements of the song, but the default will tell you, here's how we want to sing it. I want verse, chorus, verse, chorus. If I want to make a new arrangement, I'm just making this one for your video example, okay? Here are all of the elements. All right, I think for this Sunday, I want to do verse, verse, chorus, chorus, verse, chorus. And I'm gonna, yep, that looks good. I'm gonna put a blank at the beginning so I can make sure I have my background. And the background will stay that background unless you change it. So if your slide changer doesn't click on that pretty purple, it will stay on whatever the last thing was until you change it. Now, Song Select, you probably have a subscription to that. I have to sign in because that's an integration that you have with ProPresenter. It allows you to just go and drag a song over or import it into your library, and it would help if you know your password. Okay, I don't have What a God in my normal library. That's what the blue thing is. Oh, we've never sung that before. Let me go to Song Select. It automatically adds it. I can click on it. Is this the song that I want? Because some songs have a lot of the same title. What a God, what a God. Let's give it a chance. I can tell who wrote it. Now I can say, all right, I want it to import into that Sunday morning playlist. That's the theme. We'll talk about that again in a minute, how to change your theme, what you want it to look like. So ignore that for right now. We're going to say, yeah, put it in there in that theme. Import. Now watch that left playlist. Click, there it is. What a God. So from now on, you will have that in your library, but whoa, what a mess. Okay, we're going to make an arrangement now because it's just giving us the master parts. So we're going to say, I call it default every time. This is what, if we're going to sing it, this is how we sing it. I do not love how it looks. Too many words on a slide, all of those things. So I'm going to change that. But now, because the theme I picked has this box behind it, every slide will have that box behind it. I'm not digging that. If you click on themes, you can see there are a lot of different options that are just default, and you can do some wild stuff, and maybe you'll find one you like. Since I know what I like because of the size of our screens and that kind of thing, I just went straight to creating my own theme, and then I don't have to try to figure it out. So here's how you do that. Right click, theme, and then at the bottom of that, you can't see for some reason, you can click create theme. Name your theme. Okay, Gateway Lyrics. Save. Okay, now I'm going to click on that text box and I want to tell it what I want my theme to be. So I'm just putting some words on here so I can see how it changes. So I know I want my lyrics to be at least 90. Okay, then we really like it bold. If you want shadow or you want it outlined or all that, you can do that at the bottom with stroke and outline. But we like our lyrics to be all caps. So you can see on that capitalization, I like all caps. That's how I want my lyrics to be. I also want them in center justified and in the center of the screen, not up at the top. So once I've set that and saved it as my theme, I'm going to go to What a God, which was just What a Mess, because it had lots of different things. And I'm going to go to that theme and look for Gateway Lyrics. Click on the theme, watch, it changes it all. Okay? So then I'm highlighting all of those slides. I'm going to go to Gateway Theme. Gateway Lyrics. Theme. It changed it. Now look at this slide. I have to edit. Right click, edit. All of these words won't fit on one slide, so I have to put them on different slides. So I'm putting them, I like to divide it by how we sing it. I don't really know this song, but no, it's not. No, it's not. Okay, if I want to page break, which means I want words on a different slide, here's what I have to do. Put my cursor where I want the break to be, where I want the words to go to a different slide, and then I click Option Return together, and they'll go to a different slide. Okay, our songs are in. Now we have to make a new presentation. I just make this same holder every week and I change out the slides on it for you Gateway sermon notes. So no matter who is preaching, you can add the notes to this section. It will always be there. Now, if you're doing different weeks, whenever you change this one presentation, the notes will change because it's only called one thing. So I have I normally in Canva make a sermon title slide. That's what I'm looking for here. And I'll drag it in. So here's that's his sermon title. And I'll make kind of a complimentary slide with it too to be the background of other things. It's asking me, do I want to write over a new version? I don't know why, but we'll do new version. Well, you can't put notes on top of a tree like that. So I normally will put another slide in there, new version. And then when I right click, go down to inspector. That's how you can change some things about the slide. Like you can make it blurry or whatever. I adjust color, slide the brightness down. And so now you can see what it originally was. Okay. And now on the slides, I'm going to have notes. It goes dark. I don't like how it just flips to it. So I put a little dissolve action there. You can make it a fast or slow dissolve. So there's that. Now it dissolves into the darker slide. You could also do a blank slide if you want. Now I need to add notes. Usually I get notes in an email, and so I cut and paste them into the first slide, and then I just page break it to get them on different ones. That's how I'll show you here. Here's something important. Oh no, the background went away. Do you know why the background went away? Because it's set as foreground. So go to edit slide, click on slide, and at the bottom you'll see, oh, the behavior is foreground. I want it to be background. All right, go to show to put it back. Okay, now, all right, now that holds as a background. Until you give it another background, that is the background it will hold. So if they put in pictures or whatever for their sermon, you have to go back to that background, or the picture will be the back of your notes. You don't want that. Okay. I want my scripture formatted differently. I like it to be upper left-hand corner, a certain size. I like my notes to be in the center of the screen. So I have created themes for those slides that I just click on those themes for depending on what the note is. I'm going to page break to put it on its own slide. Okay, I don't like how it's in the middle, so I'm going to give it the theme of scripture I can read. Now, it looks different. It looks more like a scripture than a note. We have our last presentation, Gateway Goodbye, and we're just going to put a goodbye slide in there. Just look at what your service order is and you can make it work. If you need to put in a baptism slide, you can make a presentation called baptism, and you can put your placeholder there with water splashing out or whatever and put the song behind it. So hope that helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.